The Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Game day is underway. This is the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL, presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting. Here's Hayes Carline.
Good morning. Welcome in to week number 10. Boy, it's hard to believe that. Hayes Carline here with Dylan Denmark. Dylan, how you doing this morning?
Hayes, after that Gator game last night, I've never felt more alive.
Man, what an inspiring effort. My goodness, we're not going to talk much about the Gators. Why would we? They don't deserve it. But the Jaguars certainly do. Let's set the scene for you. We got a great kickoff show coming up. We appreciate our friends at Terminix. We're going to hear from 4 key players today inside the locker room. Jakobi Meyers, new addition. Obviously, James Gladstone acquires Jakobi Meyers right at the trade deadline from the Las Vegas Raiders. Very excited to see what he can do today. Had a chance to catch up with him on Friday after he'd had a couple of days to get adjusted. Really enjoyed meeting Jakobi. Had a chance to speak with Josh Hines-Allen, who now is owner of the franchise career sack record and has a chance with half a sack to own it by himself. He's tied with Tony Brackens. Anton Harrison, the right tackle. Enjoyed my time with him this week in Foye Aluakan. The leader of the defense doing an outstanding job at that middle linebacker spot for the Jaguars. So you'll hear from those 4 players. We're also going to go live to Houston a few times in today's show. Voice of the Jaguars, Frank Frangie, will join us in our next segment, as he always does. Frank, very kind to always give us some time on game day before he gets ready to call a game. And Dylan, boy, the way these games are going, certainly the Vegas game, we appreciate Frank because he's got to save that voice. He's got some big plays that hopefully he'll be calling today. So, and certainly against the Raiders, it was fast and furious.
Oh my goodness! The amount of times that his voice, reached its peak, I felt like I don't know how he kept his voice for his own radio show throughout the week.
Yeah, it was phenomenal stuff. So we'll certainly look forward to hearing from Frank. We'll go behind enemy lines with Rick Ballou. He's covering the game live in Houston for 1010XL today, so we'll certainly enjoy Rick's coverage. He does a great job in the locker room post game. And Ryan O'Halloran, the columnist of the Florida Times-Union, will join us in our final segment for a few minutes as we get some final thoughts on the Terminix Kickoff Show before we hand it off to the Jaguars. So lots of good stuff to get to today. Let's start with just the ramifications of this game. The Jaguars come in at 5-3, coming off a thrilling 30-29 win over Las Vegas. The Raiders go for it, go for the win. The 2-point conversion, defensive tackle Devon Hamilton hangs in the air circa Jordan in the 80s and gets a big paw on a Geno Smith pass to preserve what I think is a season-shifting win. I'm not sure the Jaguars would have made the trade for Jakobi Meyers with a loss. So that was a huge win for the Jaguars. 5-3, and going up against a Houston team today that is 3-5, and I really think that you can make a strong case that this is it for the Houston Texans. I think they're playing for their season today. If they lose to the Jaguars, they'll be 3-6, and they still have many, many difficult games left on their schedule. Of course, Houston playing that first place schedule, having won the division the last 2 years under DeMeco Ryans. And the Jaguars looking for a sweep over Houston today. The Jaguars won 17-10 in week 3. That was the game where Josh Hines-Allen came around the edge at the end and hit C.J. Stroud's arm. Antonio Johnson got the interception to preserve a win. The AFC South ramifications here are huge today for the Jaguars. They have a chance to basically eliminate Houston. They'd be 3 games up on Houston. And again, Houston really with the schedule they have left, they'd be 3-6, probably headed to an 8 or 9 loss season at a minimum, and that's going to take them out. You look at the Jaguars today trying to gain ground on the Colts. The Colts coming off a loss to the Steelers. They're going to play in the morning today. That game will actually start in our final half hour. They're over in Germany. The Colts will play the Falcons. So the Jaguars will kind of know before their game kicks off if they have an opportunity to gain a game on the Colts today or if they need to win just to stay close to the Colts. So that's going to be really interesting as we work through this. Let's start with Jakobi Meyers in terms of a big storyline for today. We know Brian Thomas Jr. is not going to play. De'Ami Brown does not carry an injury designation, but did suffer a concussion in his last game and has been sort of, I'd say, underwhelming to this point in the year. And so at receiver, you've got Parker Washington, who's had a nice year. Certainly, has stepped into the void when asked, but it's not a great group right now. And again, at tight end, you don't have Brenton Strange for another week. Hunter Long is out, so I don't know that you can really count on getting a lot of supplemental receiving yards from the tight end position this week. So that puts a lot of pressure on Jakobi Meyers. Can he come in and pick up enough of this scheme to be effective? Can he get on the same page with Trevor Lawrence, which I think is a difficult challenge. I don't know that that's a strength of Trevor Lawrence to throw to a guy for 2 days and then feel game ready with him, but we'll see. Liam Cohen met with reporters on Wednesday and talked about the skill set that Jakobi Meyers brings this offense.
Yeah, I think have followed his career pretty closely, being in the Northeast myself, the Patriots, watching those guys over the years. And then obviously moving into a couple different roles, former quarterback, always appreciate that really in any skilled player. But the ability, tough, strong hands, has been physical as a separator in ISO situations. I've only heard great things about the pro. Edgar's worked with him in the past as well. So, definitely excited to have him.
That's Edgar Bennett, the Jaguars receivers coach that Liam is referring to there. And I can say the buzz is good on Jakobi Meyers. They've been very impressed with how he's picked things up. And I would anticipate a significant role today in the offense. They almost don't have a choice. But I do think that he's been good enough from what they have seen. I mean, his football IQ has been on display this week. And again, getting a chance to speak with Jakobi on Friday, he felt like a very confident, at ease player. He didn't seem at all rattled or anything like that. Wasn't trying to, caveat any sort of expectation for his role today. So I think Jakobi Meyers has gotten comfortable pretty quick, but it's still a tall order. I mean, he's been playing football, so he's football ready. I mean, he's been playing for the Raiders, but a little bit different, role today, and in a totally new offense. So it's going to be fun, and going against a Houston defense that is flat out incredible. They're first in total yards. They're third in interceptions. They're third on third down defense, and they're first in scoring defense. So quite a challenge today for this Jaguars offense, which leads us to the probably the biggest question for both teams today is how are they going to handle the attrition that they both face. For the Jaguars, no Brian Thomas Jr., no Jordan Lewis, no Ezra Cleveland, and no Hunter Long. For the Texans, they've got 7 guys out, including their starting quarterback, C.J. Stroud. So how these coaches handle getting their guys ready to play that don't normally play big roles, I think is going to be really key here. And I think the Texans have the disadvantage, not having Stroud. They also don't have their kicker. Kami Fairburn is out. They're missing their right side of the offensive line. The guard and tackle are out. Petrie, the talented safety, nickel, he's out. So the Texans are really struggling. They have 7 guys out. The Jaguars obviously have 4. The Jaguars do have Brenton Strange on IR. He doesn't count, but in terms of that. But both teams really dealing with a lot of injuries today, and it'll be interesting to see in the rematch how they handle that. One player that is coming back for the Jaguars that we know is going to make a big difference is linebacker Devin Lloyd. Devin was the AFC Defensive Player of the Month in September, and then hurt his calf and has been out for a few weeks. But he comes back today, was a full participant in practice all week long. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile met with reporters on Thursday and talked about the importance of getting Devin Lloyd back.
That's a big part of everything we were able to do early in the year because when I was talking about him in the past, it was more, I think Devin really is just capable of doing a lot of things, whether it's the pass coverage, the pass rush, playing in the box as a linebacker, and then playing on the ball. It's really just a unique skill set that way. So it gives us a little bit more in terms of options, things that he can do. And he definitely presents some problems for the offense for sure.
And I think this is a game where Devin Lloyd can really make a big impact because Davis Mills, the starting quarterback for the Texans, frankly, he's just not very good. I mean, he must be a good guy because he's been there now for a while, and he must be a pretty smart player. But in terms of what we have seen when he has played, and it hasn't been much since C.J. Stroud has gotten there, but he's 5-19-1 as a starter, 35 career touchdowns, 25 interceptions. They have no run game, and they can't protect anybody. So you have to think the ball is going to be coming out fast. And Devin Lloyd has done a great job this year of generating takeaways. So I think Devin Lloyd being back in what I expect will be a very low-scoring defensive game could make all the difference in the world for the Jaguars as they look to move to 6-3. So we are off and running on the Terminix Kickoff show. When we come back, we are going to go live to Houston to hear from the voice of the Jaguars and the host of the Frangie Show. That is Frank Frangie. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You love sports. You live for the action.
He did it again!
Experience the excitement of the moment on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Bellard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen. and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwoods stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all, like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwoods, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwoods. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline with Dylan Denmark, and we are pleased to be joined with our good friend, voice of the Jaguars and host of the Frangie Show, Frank Frangie, always kind enough to give us a few minutes on game day before he gets ready to call what hopefully will be an epic Jaguars win. Frank, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Hayes. I'm good. Good morning to you and Dylan. It's a beautiful day here in Houston. Unfortunately, the game's indoors, but
Yeah.
I am doing great. Good to be here, and I'm like you. I'm looking forward to a really important game here for the Jaguars today.
Yeah, without a doubt. Any sense of road weariness? The team had to fly to Vegas last week, now another road trip to Houston. Any sort of vibes at all that you picked up on from an energy standpoint?
I don't think so, Hayes. I don't know. Now, in fairness, I don't know if you can really tell that. You usually can tell that in warm-ups a little bit. You can tell when they're at the stadium if there's some lethargy, I suppose. But no, I don't think so. I think this team's ready to play. I think they like where they are. I think Liam Cohen's done a really good job of managing that travel, when to leave, when to have some time off. I was on the plane with him yesterday. It felt to me like a team in very good spirits. I'm in the back, okay? I'm like in the back of the plane, right? So I walked by all of them. And the sense I got being around them, getting to the hotel, getting to the hotel rooms, the meetings they had, I got a feeling this is a team that's loose. We'll see if that affects how they play, but I don't get the sense that there's any, and that they're lethargic, that they're tired. I don't get that read at all.
And obviously the stakes are gigantic in this one. Let's start with the Jaguars. What does a win do for this franchise today, in your opinion?
Well, so many things, Hayes. Number one, you're 6-3. There haven't been a lot in the 31-year history of this franchise. There haven't been a lot of 6-3 starts. There just hasn't. We all know that. They start 6-3. They're also 3 games ahead then of the defending champion, who still have a tough schedule. And I won't say put the Texans out of their misery, because a lot can happen in the NFL with 8 games to play. But they make it awfully tough on the defending champion. We learned a few years ago, don't necessarily assume it's a 2-team race, because something crazy can happen. But it makes it very hard. The other thing is you will have swept the Texans for only the 3rd time ever. There's an emotional lift to that. It's not just with the numbers and where you are in the standings. You will have swept, in Liam Cohen's first year as your coach, you will have swept the Houston Texans. There's an emotional lift from that. There's the way the league looks at you, the way the division looks at you, and the way you look at yourself. So this game, of all those things, if they win this game, there you can stick your chest out a little bit. You can't stick your chest out very long in this league, because there's another game a week from today, right? but for a while you can feel pretty good about yourself. So this game is enormous, Hayes, on so many fronts for the Jaguars.
Absolutely. You mentioned Liam Cohen. I think he's done a brilliant job managing games. I'm not sure that it's even been something that has been talked about enough. But, and you go back to the decision even in last week's game to take the ball to start overtime knowing, well, I can't throw it. All my receivers are out. So as much as you might like to know what you need, I need a drive where I can take up 6.5 minutes of the clock and that's what ended up happening. Now, again, Devon Hamilton makes the play of the day or everybody goes home sad. But what kind of a job do you feel like Liam Cohen has done managing games?
Yeah, you're right. He's a really smart guy. I think that's what you're saying. He's really bright. He's got great instinct. I'm not saying some coaches aren't smart, but Doug Peterson was really smart, too, at managing sidelines. You can tell a guy when a guy's got a knack for what to do that minute, right? And I think Liam's done. So I agree with you. They ran it 8 times in a row last week. And to that end, and that's a good segue to this game, Hayes, they're going to have to run the football. This is the last thing you want to do against the Houston Texans is sit back there in the pocket where they probably have the best pair of rush ends in the league in Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, where they've got outstanding cornerbacks in Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley Jr. I think Lassiter might even be better, the former Georgia player. I mean, they're really good when you pass. They're the number one defense in the league for a reason, but they're really good when you throw the football. So this is a slobber knocker, man. This is one of those games where the winner's going to be in the teens, where there's going to be not a whole lot of points. A lot of punts would be my guess. The team that doesn't turn it over in their own territory. It's that kind of a game. And Liam has, to your point, to start this topic, Liam has a good gut and feel for when it's like that.
Let's talk about the first meeting. The Jaguars win 17-10 in week 3, and I agree with you, could see a very similar score today. But what I thought was really interesting is Houston showed a defensive look to slow down the ground game, and it was effective for 30 minutes. And then the Jaguars made their own adjustments and ran for 75 yards in the second half, getting that win. How do you think that matchup will go today now in the second game with Cohen and Ryans now facing off for a second time? How do you think that advantage will go to the Jags or the Texans today when the Jaguars try and run the ball?
Well, I would think the Texans' defense is going to win the battle against most offenses. They're number one in the league. You talked about it at the top of the program. They're really good, man. It's a really good. I just talked about the two ends, both linebackers, Henry To'oTo'o and, of course, Al Shear play downhill. They're not as great in pass coverage as they are in playing downhill against the run, which is one of the things you're talking about. So the Texans' defense is going to win the battle against most offenses. But that's not how you win the game. You win the game with more points. I think the Jags are going to beat the Texans. I think the Jags are going to have more points in the game. But you're right. You're going to have to figure out a way to run the football. The other big X factor here, and I heard you talk about this at the top too, Hayes, the other big X factor here is who's catching the ball for the Jags? That is a gigantic question. I mean, the reality is no Brian Thomas Jr. He's not here. De'Ami Brown is healthy, but he just had a concussion. How much of a factor will he be? And let's be honest, I was wrong about that. He's not impacted the team very much. I thought he would be a big part of it, and he has not. For whatever reason, he has not been. So here comes Jacoby Myers, a guy they love. They love the way he catches the football. They love the way he runs routes. I can tell you they were blown away by how good he was in his first 2 or 3 practices without knowing terminology, without knowing what they're doing, that he ran the right route, that he never busted a route. They were kind of like, look at this guy. He just got here, and he already is doing everything right. So they're very excited. Does he get 9-10 targets in his first day in the Jaguar uniform? Does Parker Washington get those 9 or 10 targets again? That's a gigantic question, and because you don't know that, you've got to run the football some. So I think the Jags will run it some. I don't necessarily think they're going to get the best of the Houston defense, but they don't have to. They need to score one more point than the Houston team, and I think they're going to do that. I do.
What an opportunity for Trevor Lawrence today, because I don't think anybody's really expecting much because of the difficulty of the matchup. You're on the road. And in the first game, Trevor wasn't particularly sharp against Houston. It was about a 50% completion percentage. I think his passer rating was in the 50s. So, a forgettable day in a win, but a forgettable day for Trevor Lawrence. But what if he has a big game today? I mean, this is one of those opportunities where if Trevor Lawrence plays well, that would really send a huge message, not just to the league, but also to the Jaguar fan base and inside that locker room.
Yeah, you can play well and not have big quarterback numbers. Big quarterback numbers is going to be hard today. Again, great pass rushers, really good cornerbacks, a really good defensive plan, a defensive-minded head coach. It's going to be hard to do much in the past, and brand new receivers and beat-up receiving core. All that leads to you're not going to have 25 for 28 for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's not going to be the game today, right? But you can, to your point, Hayes, you can play very well by checking it down at the right time, by making big throws when you have to make big throws. And I think that's what you're going to see from Trevor today. Rick Ballou came on our show with you and me, and he made the best point of all. We all talked about it all week long. We did a handoff on Friday, I think it was. And he said, look, you have Trevor Lawrence, they have Davis Mills. You should win the game. I mean, at the end of the day, the Jags have Trevor Lawrence, and they have a backup, a bit of a journeyman backup quarterback. And really, to the point you were making earlier, not even a journeyman. At least journeyman quarterbacks have been around, right? They've been in different systems. They've played for 3 or 4 head coaches, which means they've played for 3 or 4 quarterbacks coaches. Davis has only been in Houston. He's only started 25 games. Most of those were 3 years ago. So you have a real advantage here. You've got a quarterback who's been playing, who's pretty good. You got going up against a guy that hasn't played very much. You have Trevor Lawrence. They have Davis Mills, and that should be a gigantic advantage in the football game. It really should.
Frank, we'll get you out on this one. How do you think the Jaguar defense will play getting Devin Lloyd back?
I think they're going to be very good. I think the winning teams in the teens in this game. I can't imagine the Houston offense, which is so beat up, other than Nico Collins, who's very good, by the way. They're not confident at all in their receiving core. Dalton Schultz has been okay, but he's a good player, but he's not a great player. They're playing Davis Mills, to your point. He's got 26 career starts and hasn't had one in a long time. It's his first start in 2022. They haven't had Joe Mixon all year. Nick Chubb's been good. Woody Marks has been better. The rookie running back has actually moved ahead of Chubb a little. I can't imagine Houston doing much offensively in this game. I'll say this: they'll score 30 points, right? But I don't think so, Hayes. I can't imagine the Jaguar defense, which is starting to slowly get some people back. Trayvon's going to have his hands a little bit more free today. Devin Lloyd's back in the lineup today. They're still down some people now. They're down. Obviously, they're down Jordan Lewis, and they're down Eric Murray, and they're down some folks. But they're starting to get people back. They feel good about where they are. The Houston offense. Now, the other side of that, and the real other side of that is Houston's going to play like their hair's on fire. Okay, I can tell you that. Their back's against the wall. That's a cliche, but it's true. This is their season. This is it, man. They lose this game, it's a long, long, long way back. So you'll get everything. That's why I think it's going to be a slobber knocker, man, because you're going to get everything Houston has. They're getting everything the Jaguars have. Physical, low-scoring game. Who runs the ball better? That's the way the game's going to play out. So to your question, I think the Jaguar defense will fare very well. But, boy, I think this is a physical game with a desperate team trying to hold on, and that's what the Texans are. I think the Jags are going to beat them. But, boy, oh, boy, I think it's going to be a physical one.
Frank, great stuff. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll look forward to your call later today.
All right, hey, thanks, buddy. See you tomorrow.
All right, we appreciate Frank joining us. Always very kind to give us some time on the Terminix Kickoff show before he embarks on a long day, but hopefully a great day, and hopefully there'll be plenty of highlights that Jaguars Digital will give us later in the week with a lot of those great calls from Frank. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff show, let's go inside the locker room. I want you to hear from right tackle Anton Harrison. Young man playing very well. Liam Cohen really praised him Friday. And middle linebacker Foye Oluokun having another sensational season for the Jaguars. We'll also do the Farah injury report. That is up next. You're listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through November 13th. Financing available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Hi, folks.
Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting!
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WindoWorld wants you to do. WindoWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WindoWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WindoWorld can.
And with WindoWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WindoWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WindoWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WindoWorld, and to top it off, WindoWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WindoWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WindowWorld today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
WindowWorld, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
WindoWorld also offers energy-efficient doors.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this!
1010XL, on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Channeled by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
When the team heats up and the temps climb high, Sunrise Heating and AC keeps you cool. That's no lie. From kickoff to overtime and every long drive, they'll keep your home feeling fresh and alive. When your system's down, don't sweat the score. Sunrise Heating and AC of North Florida is ready to restore. Fast, honest service from a local crew, keeping Jacksonville fans chill all season through. Your comfort starts here at sunriseheatingandac.com.
Touchdown! Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through November 13th. Financing available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
The Terminix Kickoff Show.
Presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. I am Hayes Carline, joined with Dylan Denmark. Dylan makes everything happen, and I certainly appreciate it. Dylan, let's go inside the locker room and hear from Anton Harrison. I think he's a big factor to today's game with what Frank had mentioned in the last segment. I mean, the Texans have two sensational edge rushers in Anderson and Hunter. We know Walker Little is certainly going to be in the spotlight as well, but Anton Harrison has done a good job at right tackle. Young player, sort of, was challenged in the offseason, met that challenge from the new staff, and it has really started to take off. Liam Cohen met with reporters on Friday and talked about how good Anton has been in pass protection.
I think the consistent, first and foremost, the consistent, strain in and out when he's playing and straining to the best of his ability. Good things are happening for Anton. I think he's really pass pro'd well at a high level when he's in one-on-one opportunities. And, he's really strained and pulled some holes and pried some holes open for us as well in some of the gap schemes. And so he's, when Anton's playing at that level, it's really fun to watch, and it's great for our offense.
And he's going to have to be great today, as we've talked about. The Jaguars are going to have to pass it at some point. We know that. And it's going to be paramount for Little and Harrison to hold up and give Trevor Lawrence time to throw against a dynamic Houston rush. That's going to be very entertaining to watch. Let's take you inside the locker room. This was my interview with Anton Harrison earlier this week.
All right, we're joined with Jaguars right tackle Anton Harrison here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
You too. I'm doing good. Got the win, so I'm doing great right now.
That had to be electric. What was that like, Anton, getting that win in overtime over the Raiders?
It was definitely fun. It was a fun game. Glad we got the win. It's hard to win in the NFL, so we had an extra quarter, went to overtime, just had to fight, strain, and get the win.
How much fatigue after the game, after a game like that, with it playing the extra 10 minutes?
You definitely feel it. As the days go on, you definitely feel it, but just happy we came out on top that time. Proud of the guys. We fought through a lot of adversity. Things didn't go our way. We killed ourselves sometimes, but we still was able to get the win.
You guys were outstanding on third down, outstanding on fourth down. What were some of the keys in the execution and being so successful, keeping drives going?
Mainly, I feel like it just started with being more physical. That's one thing we wanted to do coming in, just be the most physical team, especially up front, O-line, D-line. We wanted to be the most physical. And overtime, we ran 9 straight runs. So that just shows what we can do and sets the standard. And it was big. He was able to do that and go score the ball.
How much were those bye-week adjustments? How much dividends did those pay for you in the win over the Raiders?
A lot. I feel like everybody, we just had to calm down. After them 2 losses we took, calm down. Everybody just look in the mirror, get healthy. We got guys out, still out. But it was good. It came at the perfect time, and I feel like it definitely helped us get that win.
How are you guys gelling as a line now that we're almost halfway through the year?
I feel like we're gelling good. Obviously, you're going to have your ups and downs. Pretty much a whole new group almost. So obviously it's going to be some things we got to work on, and we seen us early in the year, but now we're getting later. We got to be almost perfect. You're not going to be perfect, but you got to strive to be perfect. So I feel like we're gelling well. We're coming together well. Off the field, all of us are brothers, even the guys that's not out there, when they're ready to step in when guys go down. So when we got a tight room like that, good things can happen.
ETN really ran hard the other day. What did you guys see on film from him?
Just relentlessness of him just wanting to get it, wanting to go. We know what he can do. He proved it multiple times. He's a great back. So him just believing in us believing in him, fighting through the arm tackles, getting through the little things, and just trying to be the best ETN he could be.
Anton, what kind of positive steps do you feel like you've taken so far this year?
I still got a lot of things to work on. I feel like personally, but
you're a tough critic.
Yeah, I am. I'd say just being more consistent in like things I do, the little things, the finish, the strain, Just trying to be the most dominant player out there, the best player out there, the best me I can be for the team. So that's all I got to do. I don't got to be Superman, but if I could be the best me, it's going to be good things most of the time. So I feel like I've been doing that, being consistent with it, and I stay on that and I'll be fine.
James Gladstone added Jacoby Myers yesterday, obviously accomplished receiver. How cool is that to be in a situation where, you guys are in the playoff race and the club is adding to help you guys keep, winning at a high level?
It was always exciting to get new players, and a guy like that, he's a good player, good receiver, so obviously he's going to come in and help immediately, and that's big for us to know that we got a good team. We're just adding more good pieces, so it's only better to come from that. So it's always a good thing knowing that the guys upstairs is always trying to look to get us better.
Houston obviously kind of threw something new at you guys in the first meeting. You adjusted and handled it and got the win, but how challenging is that Texans front?
It's challenging, especially facing them twice a year. You never really know what they're going to do that second time. You watched that first game. They did a lot of things. They tried to move, and now they got, I guess, the DC calling the plays now. It's not the head coach anymore, so it's obviously going to be the same but a little different thing. So we just got to get in the film, stay in the film. They got two great edges, so we just got to lock in on them too, and I thought we'd be fine.
Great stuff. Anton Harrison, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck to you.
No problem. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Anton Harrison, still just 23 years old. So a young player, going to get a big test today, and he'll be a big key to this thing. The Jaguar offensive line is probably going to win or lose this football game. And Houston knows that they're going to just try and run it at them. But there will be situations where the Jaguars are going to have to pass. And in those situations, Harrison and Little are going to have to block Anderson and Hunter, or it's going to be a long day for Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars. Let's flip it over to the defensive side of the football. The Jaguar defense doesn't have quite the challenge. Houston is really beat up. C.J. Stroud is out with the concussion, so Davis Mills is going to start at quarterback for the Texans. Joe Mixon hasn't played all year, as Frank mentioned. He is standout running back. They haven't had him all year. They've been going with Nick Chubb, who's on his last leg, and rookie Woody Marks, who's a better receiver than a runner, but he's having a nice rookie year. The Texans do have Nico Collins at receiver, but their offensive line is in dreadful shape. They weren't any good to start with, and they've got two guys out today, the right guard and the right tackle. So a lot of issues for that Houston offense. But these guys are pros, and the Jaguar defense will certainly have to be on guard. Foye Oluokun is going to lead that charge. He has certainly been an outstanding leader for the Jaguars and a highly productive player since joining the squad as a free agent. Had a chance to catch up with Foye earlier in the week, and here is that interview.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars middle linebacker Foye Oluokun here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great. I know you want to look forward at Sunday, but going back to a big win over the Raiders, Foye, take us through what was that like on the final play. We saw you celebrating with Devon Hamilton, but what was that like seeing Devon make that play for you guys in a big win?
It was cool. The whole game came out of that last play, so as soon as they went for two, I'm like, oh, yeah, we can win this game. Let's win this game right here. Devon did a good job pushing the pocket up and then timing his jump, got his hands up, got to the ball. I didn't really see what was happening with the covers behind, but, yeah, it was very critical bat down. So that was really cool, and I was so happy that we won and all that work that we put in during the week. A little bit of a grimy game, but we came out to get the W, so been focused on improving all that stuff from that game going into the weeks coming forward, but it was good to get back on the winning column.
How much of a lift did that give you guys going into this week?
It was good just to get back in the winning column and understand that the people in this room can win any game that we're a part of. No matter how it looks, let's be a little bit cleaner and stuff, but we got a lot of good talent on the team. Just playing the right way is the name of the game. We always bring good physicality, but when we start clicking on our X's and O's, it looks great. So come out in the winning column, let's build on it and keep winning games. Yeah.
In a monumental division game Sunday in Houston, when from your perspective, when you play a division team for the second time, what are some commonalities that you kind of, key in on?
Yeah, seeing how they respond to what you were successful with the first time. I think maybe kind of just the chess match of the game that might give you a couple of the same things that you were successful. Make sure that you're still hitting it the same way, and then they'll start doing their plays off of it. So just a little bit of the chess match within the game, understanding that they scout themselves as well, and we have to really be on our details because, just because something was successful the first game doesn't mean it's going to be successful the second game. So it's extra detailed and extra mental oriented throughout this week. And then being able to fly around on Sundays.
With Davis Mills stepping in for C.J. Stroud as he recovers from the concussion, do you anticipate more of quick passes, getting the ball out of his hand fast?
Yeah, I would expect him to run the offense like as if he's been, watching the offense from behind the scenes the whole time, and he understands probably the reads that he needs to make, and then just making the throws and not turning the ball over and stuff. That's kind of how a lot of the quarterbacks who end up coming in off of a short amount of time to prepare end up being successful. They get the ball where it's supposed to go. So I'm kind of expecting that from him. I'm sure he knows when to take his shots and stuff. He used to be a star in the league, so he's a very able quarterback, not somebody you can take lightly and everything. So being prepared for really just Houston's offense, because if he runs it right, he's going to be wheeling and dealing how it's supposed to be ran, maybe not going off schedule and stuff. So Houston's offense and being detailed in your drops and everything, that's how to be good against in situations like this.
Chubb's had such a great career, but I'm curious about Woody Marks, the rookie. It really seems like he's, doing a good job of being a threat in the passing game and doing a good job with the run game. What stands out when you watch the rookie Woody Marks?
Yeah, kind of a little bit like fresh legs. You see a guy with a little bit of burst and a little bit of wiggle and stuff. So, he's a good running back, still learning the game, so only going to get better. Chubb, still very much downhill. Can't give him creases and stuff. He'll keep the chains moving and everything. So I wouldn't say that much of a different style runner, but I would say at the end, not saying 27 not hella or very physical, but 21 just known to be that finishing bruiser that you got to definitely bring the legs for and everything. But 27, same thing, just with maybe a little bit more burst right now.
What kind of lift do you guys get having Devin back?
Good, just the camaraderie and confidence of the team. Be in the right spot, being a playmaker, physical presence that other teams got to account for and stuff. So it's just good. Like you just playing off of him. You know what I'm saying? He's playing with me, I'm playing with him, and that juice and that trust that's going to be there. So it's always fun.
Boy, what's going good for you? What are you pleased about with your game right now?
I'm liking how I'm moving out there. I know I could finish plays better. This point in my career, I've definitely worked on my body a lot to be healthy all the way through this time, my legs anyway. And just the way I'm moving out there has been pretty good. Just finishing plays, keeping my burst to the ball, and trying to be the playmaker when the ball's around. So always stuff I can get better at, and I know I'll get better at through the second half of the year. But good start, and I want to get better and prove that I'm a really good player.
Awesome. Foye Oluokun, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck Sunday.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, Foye Oluokun having another really strong season. 66 tackles. That leads the Jaguars by 21. 1 sack, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. So Foye has already filled up the stat sheet, and now hopefully we'll add to it. And we'll have an opportunity today. You have to think Davis Mills is going to put the ball in the air and put it in some sticky situations for the Texans at times. Hopefully the Jaguars and Foye Oluokun can take advantage when he does that, and hopefully they can stymie the ground game and force the Texans into some bad down and distance situations. Dylan, as we've talked about, this game is really a battle of attrition. Let's fire up that injury report.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We'll start with the Jaguars. Really some very, very key injuries today, some key players that will not play. We'll start with Brian Thomas Jr., who has had a disappointing year, but you still would like to have him active. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to miss this game with an ankle injury, and we've talked about that receiving core being as depleted as it is. We'll see if Jakobi Meyers, what kind of a lift he can give in his Jaguars debut. By the way, Jakobi Meyers turns 29 today, so hopefully he'll have a big-time performance on his birthday. But no Brian Thomas Jr. today. Again, that almost depends on which Brian Thomas Jr. would have shown up. But certainly still a loss for the offense, and he did make a big play in the win over Houston in Week 3. So that will be a loss today for the Jaguars in terms of not having the speed of Brian Thomas Jr. out there. Jordan Lewis is a concern for me. He has a neck injury. He is not going to play. He has been outstanding. This is a secondary that I think is been average for the majority of the season. Jordan Lewis, though, has been, the leader of that group. To not have him out there, that's a concern. Ezra Cleveland is out with a knee and ankle at left guard, so Cole Van Lanen will get the start there. That's one in which the offensive line, you were hoping was starting to gel. Now, Van Lanen's been here a while, but that's certainly a challenge. And then Hunter Long, the tight end, is out with a hip and a knee. And again, it's a position group that's already been hit because your best player, Brenton Strange, has been on IR. Now they've gotten used to not having Brenton Strange. This will be the fourth game that he's missed. He should return next week against the Chargers. But to not have Hunter Long probably really de-emphasizes what that position is going to be able to do today for Liam Cohen as he builds this game plan. So those four players are out. Everybody else is good for the Jaguars. They don't have any questionables, so we're not waiting 90 minutes before to find out the inactives. There shouldn't be really any surprises there unless something fluky happens in warm-ups. It should just be these four players that are out. The Texans have 7 guys. They're going to miss this game, but it all starts with C.J. Stroud. He is going to miss the game with a concussion. Houston ruled him out on Wednesday, so the Jaguar defense has had plenty of time to get ready for Davis Mills. No excuses there. It's not like a Jake Browning week 2 thing where you're expecting to play Burrow all week. Burrow gets hurt, relatively early in the game, and then here comes a quarterback that you weren't really game planning for, and Browning hurt them. No excuses today for the Jaguars defensively. They've known for days that Davis Mills is going to be the quarterback, but Houston's injury report really affects all facets of the game. They've got a couple of linemen that are out. The right guard, right tackle will not play. Obviously, we've talked about, they haven't had Joe Mixon all year. Kicker Kaimi Fairburn is out today, so the Texans will have Matthew Wright, who, obviously Jaguar fans are familiar with. He's an accurate kicker, but he doesn't have a big leg. So, when you talk about hidden yardage today, that could make a big difference. We know Cam Little and a dome, once 70, they're in range. That's not going to be the case for Houston. I would think with Matthew Wright, you're looking at about a 51, 52-yard range there. For Matthew Wright, that could certainly be the difference in the game. The Texans also will be without defensive back Jalen Petrie, who does a great job at safety and at nickel for them. So lots of things that Houston is having to grapple with as well from an injury standpoint. So not a great report for the Jaguars, but an absolutely devastating report for the Texans. And again, especially not having their starting quarterback. Dylan, let's take a quick peek around the AFC South. Obviously, the Jags are playing at the Texans. The Colts are playing the Falcons in Berlin. That game is going to start in about 40 minutes. The Falcons are so hard to figure out. They're talented. You could see them winning this game. You could also see them going over there and the Colts winning by 20. It's just been really hard to get any sort of sense of the Atlanta Falcons. Colts playing without defensive tackle DeForest Buckner today. He went on IR with a neck injury. That's a big loss for Indy. How do you see this one going?
Tell me how Atlanta's going to play, and I'll give you a better answer.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta played terrible against Miami. They played terrible against Carolina, but they played phenomenal against Buffalo on Monday night. They played really good against New England last week,
Yeah,
a
lost by
playoff
1.
team.
Yeah.
So, you have no idea. You're going overseas. I would expect this to be a low-scoring game because every game overseas, other than when the LA Rams went over there and played us, has been low-scoring. So I expect it to be low-scoring, but I think the Colts win. But you have no idea what Atlanta team's going to show up.
Without a doubt, and I guess we'll mention the Tennessee Titans, even though they're totally out of it. They're 1-8, and they're on a bye this week. So tough year for the Tennessee Titans, which is, boy, that's just real shame. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, let's get it back to Houston, and let's catch up with Rick Ballou. He is covering the game for 1010XL out at NRG Stadium. Looking forward to getting Rick's insights. We will do that next. You're listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars and Gators, pro, college, and high school sports.
Wow.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL. Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Hey, it's Joe C. The chill is in the air and your backyard can still be the heart of the season. Gather your family around a beautiful outdoor fireplace from Isocurrent or Napoleon, expertly installed by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. From elegant stone fireplaces to wood-burning or gas fire pits, CSS creates cozy spaces where memories are made and where every night can feel like a celebration. You dream it, they can build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
CSS. Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Put a little hot sauce on your lunchtime listening. Spicy. Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy. They are XL Prime Time.
4-alarm fire.
From the big #1 Duval Ford Studios. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Clogged drains happen when grease, soap, hair, and debris build up over time. Even tree roots can invade your pipes. All this leads to the annoying water pooling in your sink or tub. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has the tools and know-how to clear stubborn clogs and keep them from coming back. Don't ignore a slow drain. It could lead to bigger problems. Make the superior choice when your drains are clogged and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL. Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through November 13th. Financing available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville trusts. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is the Terminix Kickoff Show, live from Tailgaters Parking, presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline here, enjoying some AC/DC with Dylan Denmark. Are you ready for this game, Dylan Denmark?
I am.
Yeah?
Maybe not after the couple 3 and outs in the first drive, but I'm ready right now as we speak at 9 a.m.
It's a big game, man. This is going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing if the Jaguars can get it done. Big test for the offense today. Big test for Liam Cohen as he tries to get a elusive sweep of the Houston Texans and D'Amico Ryans. We are looking forward to being joined by Rick Ballou, hopefully momentarily, trying to catch up with Rick now. And we'll look forward to getting his insights from Houston. And, I think as you look at this, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what obviously the Jaguar offense can do. And expectations aren't high here. But you want to see a unit that, can be efficient and basically not lose the game. I think in looking at it, I hate this adage. I hate when coaches say this thing. This is, to me, the ultimate football cliche where a coach says, well, any possession that ends in a kick is a good possession for us. Well, that's not true. That's a terrible line of thinking. But in this case, I'll make the exception and allow it because I do think the Jaguars should be in good shape if they can just not turn the ball over today. If you're going to rely on Logan Cook, Cam Little to win you a field position game, I think that absolutely tilts in the favor of the Jaguars. You just can't kill yourself offensively, and we'll see. We'll see if they can do it. Dylan, do we have Rick? All right, let's do this. Let's we'll bring Rick on in our next segment. Hopefully Rick is okay in Houston. Let's switch it up and let's give you the keys to the game.
Now, the keys to the game. Brought to you by Instant Keys, fast, professional, honest locksmith service.
Let's start with the fact that this is Liam Cohen's first test in terms of playing a divisional opponent for the second time. I think it's Liam's done a great job of sort of letting us into his process, and it's been really cool to learn about how he goes about it. And Liam was asked Wednesday about seeing the Texans for a second time. Does he have to look back at the tape, or does he have a pretty good recollection of how it went in the win in Week 3?
They, came out in the first game against us and played a defensive structure that they hadn't played in normal down and distance really in like the previous 2 seasons. That was something that they had done situationally for sure. Short yardage, 4-minute, low red zone, but not as much in normal D&D. So that was something we weren't really expecting that kind of affected the run game, especially in the first half. We've got to look, all right, now they know that we, know that they did that. So it's like, okay, how much, but it worked for them too. So that's the cat and mouse game that you're trying to look into. How have they maybe tweaked some things over the last few weeks? But the structure is the structure, and the players, that's the most important thing I think about this defense and us attacking is, guys, like, it's a damn good defense, and they don't stay blocked long. And for us to go and be successful, the plays are the plays, and we have got to go finish at the second level, stay attached to blocks, run through contact, block our asses off on the perimeter. That's what's gonna have to that's how it's gonna have to be, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great stuff there from Liam. Looking at the Jaguar defensive keys to the game here, I think covering the tight end has got to be at the top of the list here. We obviously saw what Brock Bowers did Sunday in Las Vegas. He was incredible. 3 touchdown catches and just an unbelievable day for Brock Bowers. The Texans don't have Brock Bowers, but Dalton Schultz is certainly capable of hurting a defense, and you have to think that he is going to be a big part of this with Davis Mills looking to avoid, 5-7 step drops, going through multiple progressions. You have to think a big plan for DeMeco Ryans and his offense is simply get the ball out quick, and the same thing that the Jaguars are looking at, just don't kill us. And so I would think Dalton Schultz will be a big key today for the Texans if the Jaguars can do a good job on Schultz. And again, it really helps having Devin Lloyd back, I think. That is something that could go a long way to winning this game. I think that is absolutely a big key. Another big key is third down. The Jaguars have not been great offensively on third down all year. They're 23rd in the league, converting at 36.3%. The Texans have been excellent, really, in every facet of the game defensively. They're third in the league on third down. They allow conversion just 33.3% of the time. So that is certainly going to be a big key. And again, this is Liam Cohen kind of taking us inside his process. He was asked about, as a play caller on third down, when can you stay with the run and when do you sort of have to abandon the run in terms of that down and distance? I thought this was a really interesting answer.
It's typically a little bit dependent on their windows. Each week, your third down windows can change maybe by a yard or so based on how they change and how they call it. So it's more so just finding, okay, up to what window can you feel comfortable about maybe getting some runs off based on what are some of the front structures and blitzes that you're seeing. So, I've always enjoyed being able to do that and mix it up as well on some of those. But it's more so based on their windows.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And again, on third down, you have to think Trevor Lawrence is going to be looking Parker Washington's way. Parker Washington has really become an efficient receiver. That did a great job in Las Vegas. Was a big reason the Jaguars were able to get that win with all the attrition going on at that position. So Parker Washington will be a big key today. Trevor Lawrence met with reporters on Wednesday and talked about the growth that Parker Washington has shown this season.
Throughout the years, he's had to step up a lot of different times, and it hasn't been quite as, consistent until this year. Not from him, but just the amount he's been asked to step up and kind of fill that role. In the past, it's been kind of here and there with injuries, and he's always done a great job, and I've always liked how he played, and I feel like we had a pretty good chemistry. That's definitely grown, especially this year. And just seeing him, make play after play and the way he practices, I think that's the biggest thing is he practices so hard, and you get to see every look full speed and the way he comes off the ball. I mean, he really works his tail off, and I think as a quarterback that gives you a lot of confidence because you've seen all these different routes full speed and you know exactly how he's going to run it. He's really good at communicating, always comes and talks to me after different reps, and I think all those over the years kind of banked reps have stacked up to where now our connection is getting stronger and stronger, and you see it showing on Sundays, and he's making a lot of plays for us.
Yeah, it's been good to see. We know a top key today is the ground game, and the Jaguars being able to establish that. They were elite going into the first Texans meeting in Week 3. Houston did a good job in the first half. They went with a much heavier look up front. The Jaguars had not seen that and struggled. But once they adjusted at halftime, they came out, ran the ball for 75 yards in the second half, And really, that was, I think, a big key in them getting the 17-10 win. So the Jaguars entered the game 11th in the NFL in running the football. The Texans do a great job stopping it. They're 6th defensively in run defense. So that's probably where this game will be won or lost today. Travis Etienne has had such a big-time season. He obviously will have the spotlight on him a lot today. Would expect Travis Etienne to get 20, 25 touches in this game if everything goes right for the Jaguars. Liam Cohen talked about Etienne, and has he exceeded expectations this year?
I've always really, thought he was a talented player, but the physicality, I think, is maybe something that I'm not saying I didn't see it before. I've seen it. I just think it's impressive in person when you see a guy like on the 4th and 2 speed option be met by the safety at the line to gain and just shoulder down, kept going forward. He falls forward a lot more. I think there's a few he kind of stumbled on in the game a little or got tripped up. He wanted to stay on his feet and get some more, but he falls forward a lot more for, I guess you could say, more what people have maybe in the past called him a scat back or, a back that's more in the pass game or outside on the perimeter. I think he's run between the tackles pretty well for us this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Etienne's had a magnificent start to the season, and big day needed from him today if the Jaguars are going to come back at 6-3. And then the ultimate wild card, Jakobi Meyers, added at Tuesday's deadline, former Las Vegas receiver, now Jaguars receiver. Jakobi Meyers is a big key today because he is somebody that might have to be targeted 7 to 10 times in his Jaguars debut. And if he can get 2 or 3 third down conversions today, if he can hit a big play through the air, if he can score a touchdown, what a lift it would give this offense. Everybody talked about Jakobi Meyers this week, and we'll hear from him in our last segment. I had a chance to catch up with him on Friday after he'd had a couple of days to get acclimated here, and I'm looking forward to playing that interview for you. But I thought this was the soundbite of the week from defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile. He is familiar with Jakobi Meyers. Jakobi Meyers used to be a Patriots receiver. Campanile obviously spent time on the defensive staff with the Dolphins. And this was Anthony Campanile talking about the kind of player Jakobi Meyers is.
When I was in Miami, we played him like twice a year. When he was in New England, I'm like, this guy is a total pain in the ass. Like, he just catches everything and he blocks everybody, Like, he would go in there and you got guys like in 11 personnel, Z receivers usually getting in there and MDM in the safety. And, he'd go in there like a damn fullback, So I always had a lot of respect for him as a player and coached against him in college too, actually. But he's really like, when you look at receivers, he's such a you value guys like that so much, you know what I mean? They go make contested catches, and he's tough. I always felt like that. He was a hard guy to defend when we were in Miami because there could be 2 guys at the point of attack, and he really attacked the football and going up in the air for the ball. A lot of times I remember he made a couple sick catches against us that I'm definitely over by now, but but yeah, I'm happy to have him here, man. He's an awesome dude too.
What an endorsement. It will be fun watching Jakobi Meyers, not just today, but over the rest of this season. He has definitely proven to be a tough, reliable player at this league. And it's going to be fun to watch, see what Liam Cohen can do with him, particularly once he's up to speed. But he's going to be force-fed. I don't think this is going to be a Greg Newsome, ease him in for a couple of plays in his Jaguars debut. I think Jakobi Meyers is going to have a lot of snaps today, and that is a key. Will he be ready for that? When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff show, okay, now we're going to go to Houston and talk to Rick Ballou. Rick is ready. We will do that next. You are listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
In life, only the best things stand the test of time, like radio play-by-play.
I think it's bigger than it seems, and if you're one of these players or one of these coaches, it's the biggest thing in your life.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, NA, member FDIC.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Are you ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? It's the Black Friday sales event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. This offer expires November 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Huh? I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Are you ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? It's the Black Friday sales event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. This offer expires November 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn-out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now let's go behind enemy lines. Behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline here with Dylan Denmark, and we are pleased to be joined with Rick Ballou. Rick does an outstanding job covering the Jaguars on the road for 1010XL. You look forward to his great interviews in the post-game locker room. Hopefully it will be a winning locker room. And Rick, kind enough to take some time with us this morning before he gets ready to cover the game. Rick, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Hayes. How are you?
I'm doing great. Certainly appreciate you joining us. You've talked a lot about on your show this week about this is a huge game for Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, Houston is incredibly talented as a defense, but it's Trevor Lawrence versus Davis Mills. What kind of an opportunity is this today for Trevor? And if it doesn't go well, what kind of a black cloud does this put over Trevor Lawrence, in your opinion?
Yeah, if that happens, it's not going to be good. No matter what happens today, I mean, you can really write any different script, but it's going to end up falling on Trevor Lawrence because this is Trevor Lawrence against Davis Mills. And frankly, he has to win this game. These guys came out of the same draft class. Mills got some starts early, and then obviously he became a backup. He gets the opportunity today. But, this is why you drafted Trevor Lawrence, the top pick overall. And we all understand that there are injuries on both sides of the football, and, teams are going to have to deal with that today. They're going to have to make changes and rely on other guys on the roster. But, as far as I'm concerned, this is a stop-the-run game. Trevor Lawrence hopefully is able to manage this game today, much like he did in those last 6 drives in Las Vegas. Certainly the overtime drive, 10 touches, and 9 of which were rushing plays by the Jaguars. So, it's not one of those deals where you always used to hear, we're not asking you to win it, we're just asking you not to lose it. Well, I think that changes today. Trevor Lawrence has to win this game. If they can't run the football, both defenses are really good against the rush. If they can't run it, he's going to have to find a way to make some big-time plays here on the road in the second half to hopefully get out of here for Jaguar fans with a victory.
And the red zone is really critical today. We saw Trevor have the turnover in the win over the Raiders on Sunday. How big of a pivotal point is the red zone play for both these teams today?
Yeah, Houston's awful. They're 32nd in red zone. I mean, they're 31st in third down conversions. Jacksonville, one of their best days of the year was last week in Las Vegas on third down. But, you look at those two numbers, and that was such a positive for Liam Cohen a year ago in Tampa. He had the number 1 third down offense in the NFL, and he had a very successful red zone offense. Matter of fact, Baker Mayfield was the best red zone quarterback last year in Tampa, and it just hasn't worked out. But I think today, even 3 points is big. Both these defenses, particularly Houston, I mean, they're number 1 in so many different categories, including scoring defense and overall total defense. So even 3 points today is going to be big. They cannot turn the ball over the way they did a week ago. I mean, you can't make those self-inflicted wounds. And, it's going to be interesting today with, Jacoby Myers being there, and he's going to be asked to make some plays. And the injuries that this football team does have is going to take a little bit out of them. But, errors and self-inflicted wounds, that cannot happen if the Jags are going to win a game.
What do you think is a fair expectation for Jacoby Myers today?
3 or 4 receptions. It certainly helps that Petrie's not going to play for Houston. I mean, they have 7 guys out today, 6 guys which are actually starters. And if you include, Stroud and their place kicker, so you get a backup today, and that should help Myers in what I would think would be a very limited, route tree and what you expect him to give you offensively today. But I was asked, is he going to be the leading receiver? And I don't see that. I still think that's Parker Washington and perhaps Travis Etienne, who was very successful last week with a screen game. Myers today, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 3 to 4 receptions, maybe 35, 40 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Great stuff. Rick Ballou joining us from Houston as he gets ready to cover Jaguars Texans. Rick, let's talk a little bit about the Jaguars pass protection. What are your expectations for Walker Little and Anton Harrison today? And how about this LaQuinn Allen, man? He is really starting to emerge. The 7th-round rookie is a guy that he's willing to mix it up with these elite edge rushers and do whatever it takes to provide a good chip on them.
Yeah, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He really enjoys himself out there. It's like, hey, look at me. I'm a 7th-round pick, and I'm doing this when he's asked to protect and chip or whatever his responsibilities in fact are. I think it's a huge part of all of this. I mean, you got 3 really good pass rushers in Houston, and 2 of which, if you look at Autry and Anderson, were dinged this week. They were far less than 100%. But I think that is something that absolutely does favor Houston. And again, it goes back to, if you can run the football, then you keep them honest. You keep them, maybe on their heels a little bit. we saw what happened the first time that Jacksonville played Houston. You know, D'Amico Ryans obviously cheated and put an extra guy in the box. I kind of think that that's the way this football game is going to go today, is that they're going to say Trevor Lawrence beat us, Davis Mills beat us. We're gonna stuff the line of scrimmage and not allow you to run the football. But that is going to be a big challenge, and we saw that last week. Jacksonville was much better overall with the offensive line when they're able to run the football. They couldn't do that against the Rams. They could not do that against the Seahawks. You're able to run it against the Raiders, and, the end result was much more positive.
Let's talk about the Jaguar defense. Let's start with Josh Hines-Allen. Obviously was very clutch in the win over the Raiders. Has tied the career franchise sack record, and he was dominant in the Week 3 win over Houston. What are your expectations today for Josh Hines-Allen?
Well, I think Allen plays better than the numbers. I've always felt that way, even though he's paid to, in fact, show those numbers, if that makes any sense. And he was able to get to the quarterback last week, and that was promising. But, I think a lot of that depends on, what are you going to get out of Trayvon Walker? Playing with one arm, we haven't seen the same Trayvon Walker that we certainly did see the first 4 games of the year. But, I do think this sets up well for Allen. I don't know if he's going to get as many opportunities today to rush the passer. If you look at what Davis Mills did a week ago, they tried to run the ball with 28 carries. They did not. But then when he threw it, it was nothing more than just dinking and dunking. So just getting rid of the football, within a couple of seconds. And his average was only 4.6 yards. He wasn't throwing the football deep downfield at all. So I do think that those opportunities are going to be spread out today, because I don't expect him to really settle into the pocket. At least that's my thinking going in. But, hey, who knows? Things can change as well.
And I think Trayvon Walker has a chance to have a big game today, because I do think he's getting closer to being fully recovered from the wrist injury. And if you're Houston, after what Hines-Allen did to you against that rookie tackle in the first meeting, you have to think that you got to shift over more to Hines-Allen. Trayvon Walker coming off an ejection, he's going to be livid and ready to get out there and do some damage. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Trayvon Walker is the defensive MVP of this game. What do you think about Trayvon today?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And, obviously they're down 2 offensive linemen. You go to that right side of the line, Titus Howard's not going to play. Their right guard is not going to be able to play as well. So, this really is a battle of attrition, and this, does create an opportunity for your best players to really go out there and be a difference in this game. And you know what's going to happen again with Trayvon Walker. It just simply comes down to, when is it going to happen? Is it when he is 100% and the club is long gone off the wrist, or is he able to navigate his way through that this afternoon? But I think this really does set up well for Walker. Again, my only concern would be, as far as quarterback hits and sacks, is the design offensively for Houston and how quickly Mills actually gets rid of the ball.
What kind of a game do you think we'll see today, Rick?
I think it's ugly. I think it's like the first half last week against the Raiders. I think it's like the first half that we saw the first time around against the Texans. I think it's a very low-scoring game today. I think Jacksonville wins this one 17-10.
Awesome. Fantastic. Just like Week 3, we would certainly take that, a replica of the win. Great stuff, Rick. We certainly appreciate your time. We'll look forward to your fantastic coverage from Houston. And, again, certainly look forward to listening to you into the night with Rick Ballou. Rick, have a great day. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, Hayes. Thank you.
All right, when we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, one segment to go before we turn it over to the Publix Tailgate Show with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Austin Lane. But before we do that, let's go back inside the locker room. I want you to hear from Jacoby Myers, the new Jaguars receiver, and Josh Hines-Allen. Ryan O'Halloran, the sports columnist for the Florida Times-Union, will join us live from Houston as well. Lots to get to. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through November 13th. Financing available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Former Jags middle linebacker Tom McManus brings some grit to the ladies of helmets and heels.
You do it as tough as it is possible to do.
Tommy, Lauren, and Taylor.
Backed by Green Law Group. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Your favorite band live, first chord hits. That's a thrill. But for the accident attorneys at Farah & Farah, what thrill beats them all?
It's the thrill of the win. I've been there when the worry is real, when the bills pile up, when the pain doesn't quit, and getting the call that says, "We came through for you." That's huge. It's about seeing that weight lift, helping folks walk out better than when they walked in. Yeah, we're built for that.
Call Farah & Farah, Jacksonville.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. And if your dream is to create that space where you're living large in your backyard, then you need to get with the good people at CSS. They put a gas log in our fireplace, an awesome fire pit out back where the kids can toast s'mores and we can just hang out and watch the game. It's all part of your outdoor living experience with CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS. CSS.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is the Terminix Kickoff Show, presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Yo, VIP.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hey, it's Carline with Dylan Denmark. One more segment to go before we bring in the Publix Tailgate Show with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Austin Lane. But Dylan, we've got some business to attend to. Let's go back into the locker room and let's hear from Josh Hines-Allen. Now, I want to tell you guys this. You're going to hear about halfway through this interview, Josh starts talking with Trayvon Walker. So when you hear the other voice, that is Trayvon Walker. They had a very fun interaction that we wanted to keep in there for you guys. But this was my interview with Josh Hines-Allen in the Jaguars locker room from earlier this week. We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars edge rusher and the franchise sack leader, Josh Hines-Allen. Josh, it's so great to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
What a legacy. What does it mean to you to know you're forever in the franchise record book?
I mean, special. I've been in the franchise, so I've been in the franchise record books a few times. This is just milestone number 3 for me, but it's a cool, more early moment to kind of look back and reflect on when I'm done playing football. Obviously, currently, man, I wouldn't be surprised if everything was to, if I was to stop playing football today, and like I had to look back at my career. Would I be satisfied? Probably not. So for me, it's just to continue to go. I still have a lot of good football left in front of me, and just trying to keep building on where I got going on.
Are your kids cognizant? Are they old enough to kind of recognize how special that is and that performance is?
No. Heck no. My kids see my trophies, though. Yeah. So then I don't know if they know that. They know that I'm a good player. Mm-hmm. They know that, we're out. People know me and their friends know me. So it's like my kids know that their daddy's pretty cool. But to know the accomplishments and accolades and all that extra stuff, man, I don't really talk about it that much. Because I kind of if I play good football, good things happen, and I expect, things like this to kind of unfold. So,
how pleasing was it that those sacks came at such a crucial moment of the game? Very clutch plays there.
I mean, it's just stay focused, stay throughout, stay locked in. Man, I was whooping them the whole game, so it was just like, when those moments came up, it was just like it left me. He held the ball a little bit longer. And, I got to be able to make a play.
What was just it being in the locker room after the game, such an emotionally draining game, going almost the full overtime period? What was it like celebrating with your teammates?
I mean, it was awesome, man. To really celebrate the guys that stepped up in those moments, to celebrate Cam, to celebrate Austin, to celebrate Tim Jones, to celebrate Cole for coming in and stepping up for Ezra, to celebrate these guys to not know when their number was called, to come out there and perform at a high level, make plays for us. when we needed it the most. So it was good to celebrate for those guys, for sure.
How's the defense in general gelling at this point? Do you feel like, Josh, about halfway through the year?
I think we're gelling really well. I think we communicate well with each other. We see each other's points of views pretty well. Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have played Houston before, looking for a sweep on Sunday. What kind of adjustments do you kind of foresee the Texans making, and how difficult is it to prepare when you're not sure if it's going to be Stroud or Mills at quarterback?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think every opportunity that Houston wants to come to the game, they want to run the ball. You know, we have to know that. Now, the passing game may change in order to see. They're going to try to run the ball, and they're going to try to throw the ball to 12, Kurt, and 86 Schultz. If we understand that defensively, we'll be okay.
And as a team, a huge opportunity to get 3 games up on them and get a sweep. How much of a motivating factor is that as well?
We're just trying to get to 6-3, and then if our mindset is on one thing, like you just said, if my mindset was on we can sweep them. Trey mindset was on, we don't like the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Their mindset is like, look where we're at. We can be. If our mindset is to go 1-0 this week and all have that mentality, I think it's going to put us in the right direction and not have us distracted by other things. Our main goal is to get 1-0. We all on the same page. We all know the game plan. Let's go out here and execute and play fast.
You mentioned Trayvon. What kind of toughness did he show you playing through his dislocated wrist injury?
I know he showed me he's strong with a hook. I know that.
Yeah.
I know. He shouldn't have grabbed you like that. I should have punched him. My bad. Hey, no. Hey, my bad, bro. If somebody swung, I should have swung too, bro. No. So we would have been both out there, bro. No, bro. We should have jumped him. You can't both get a tackle. Nah, that's on me, bro. I take responsibility for that, man. That's not on Trey. That's on me, man. I should have knocked his leg down. I should have been more aware. So, my bad, Trey. I ain't gonna pay your fine though. But I got you, bro. My bad, bro. I take responsibility for that.
Obviously, you've been here for a long time, Josh, and there's been some tough years, but how cool is it that you guys are in contention to have a really special season, and the front office brings in a player like Jacoby Myers who can really help?
Yeah. Regardless of us bringing Jacoby in, I think we brought Jacoby in at a perfect time when, we're dealing with the injuries that we are dealing with on that side of the ball, and then we bring in somebody that's dependable. We bring somebody that's seen a lot of good football, that played a lot of good football, and a guy that I feel like that's going to come in here and contribute as best as he can to get a win. He was on the Raiders team last week who I think won 2 games, and now he's on a team that won 5 games that potentially can play another good team and get 6. Who doesn't want to be a part of that and be a contributor in a big way to show? Because we don't know how. I haven't talked to him one time yet, but I know I'm expecting him to play Sunday and to celebrate his plays that he has, and then hopefully build a relationship and, throughout this week with him and tell him that we're here room for him and we're excited for him to play.
Awesome. Josh Hines-Allen, thank you so much for your time. I know you've been a busy guy today. Congratulations on the record, and best of luck to you Sunday.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Houston tries to block Josh Hines-Allen because they had no chance in the first meeting. Josh talked about Jacoby Myers. Let's hear from the new Jaguar. I had a chance to catch up with Jacoby Myers on Friday after he had a couple days to get settled. It was really amazing just seeing even the equipment guys going up to Jacoby on Friday just saying, hey, Jacoby, do you like this on game day? What about this? How do you want this? Just all the logistics going into making sure Jacoby Myers is comfortable and ready to play at a high level for the Jaguars. This is your new receiver, Jacoby Myers, on Friday in the Jaguars locker room. We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars receiver Jacoby Myers here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to meet you. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. How's the last 72 hours been for you?
A grind. Trying to get ready for this game. Got a lot of catching up to do, but I ain't complaining at all. I'm happy to be here, ready to get to it.
It seems like the buzz is you know all the assignments. It's been amazing. How do you feel like it's gone for you, Jacoby, on the practice field?
It's been cool. I got a lot of help, man. The guys been helping me. Whenever I got an issue, they kind of feed me the play. They help me out as much as they can. The coach has been real helpful. Everybody's been cool. So, I'm enjoying the opportunity. I just want to be ready for Sunday.
How's it been getting back with Edgar Bennett?
great. Like, that's my guy right there, man. It's good to see him. Good to see him doing well. Happy to be here with him for a minute. So.
As you get into the scheme, how does Liam Cohen's scheme suit your skill set?
I mean, just where they got me aligning. I feel like they put me condensed a lot. It's cool. Like, I like to be there. A lot of ISOs when I need them. You know what I mean? Like, it's great, man. I think they use me well. They move me all over the place, and I'm enjoying it.
Houston obviously has an elite defense. What stands out, Jacoby, about their secondary?
They track the ball well. You know what I mean? Most guys play defense because they can't catch, but those guys can catch. So it's going to be a good challenge going up against them. I'm excited. My first time seeing them. Maybe not first time, but I haven't seen them in a minute, so I'm excited for the opportunity.
How cool is it jumping in? And this is a huge game. I mean, you guys have a chance to take a 3-game lead over Houston.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm new to the division, but any game, honestly, we just want to start off with a bang. I want to start off with a bang personally, but any game in division is big, man. So we're going to go out there and do what we got to do to get it.
How physically have you been able to get caught up on sleep, or are you somebody who luckily doesn't need a lot of sleep? How does that work?
Nah, I don't feel like I need too much, honestly. I got to get these plays down. As long as I'm in shape, we'll figure out the sleep on a Monday, Tuesday. So
great stuff. Jacoby, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Ryan O'Halloran, columnist of the Florida Times-Union, kind enough to give us some time. Ryan is in Houston getting ready to cover the Jaguars-Texans game. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, DJ Legway just threw another interception.
So it's his, what 14th pick of the day, it feels like? Boy, what a horror show that is.
Well,
Lane Kiffin can't get to Gainesville fast enough.
Yeah, what I can guarantee you today is that the Jaguars are going to have a little bit more of a want-to level than we saw from either Florida State or Florida last night.
Yeah, that is not going to be a high bar to eclipse. And let's start there, Ryan. What kind of level of intensity do you think we'll see today from both these sides? Because it's a huge game for different reasons for both the Jaguars and the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, Houston has to play with a level of desperation and urgency because if they lose, they're pretty much done because they're under 500, but also there's so many teams in front of them. And you can't count on A, getting hot, and B, getting a lot of help. So they're going to be playing for their season, I think. As for the Jaguars, I think they have to have the same kind of urgency because this is a chance to go 6-3. This is a chance to win 2 in a row on the road. And now you get into a part of your schedule, and the Chargers are a tough game. Chargers will probably be favored next week. But then after that, you go Cardinals and the Titans and the Titans and the Jets, and it sort of softens up a little bit. So to be able to get this one on the road for the Jaguars today, it means that you can probably maybe lose one that you're not supposed to later on because you got the San Francisco game in your pocket, and then you'd have the Houston game in your pocket.
What are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence today?
Well, I think he's going to include Jacoby Myers a lot. I think he found he had pretty good connection with Parker Washington last week against the Raiders. And with no Brian Thomas, is sometimes the quarterback is liberated by not having a high target guy. He can spread the ball around. He can see his first read if it's open, let it rip. And also, you get Tim Patrick back. Maybe he can give you a little something. And then also throw the running backs a little bit. So with no Thomas, I don't, because of Brian's struggles this year, I don't expect a drop-off at all in the passing game.
ETN has really had a big-time season. What's been your opinion of his play, and is he capable of giving them a 20-carry, 105-yard performance against one of the best defenses in the league?
Yeah, well, the 20-carry thing should be a goal. That means you're either in the lead or close, and you're running it effectively, and you're controlling the clock. So the 20 thing, that should be a goal. What I didn't know a lot about ETN coming in. What has impressed me about him is he's a physical guy, and he took some shots last week against Las Vegas, popped right up, and then also in the pass game, he looks comfortable. So I've been impressed with him as a player. The circumstances have sort of limited his chances. The Seattle game, they didn't run it. The Rams game, it was out of hand early. But I think you look at the first Houston game, the Texans came, as Liam Cohen said this week, the Texans came out with a defensive front they hadn't used in 2 years to stop the run game. While the Jags had 6 carries for 11 yards in that first half. Well, then they picked it up in the second half after they adjusted. So I think that's going to be a priority for the Jags again today.
Let's talk about the Jaguars' offensive line. Ezra Cleveland won't be out there. And obviously this is a big test against Houston, but how do you think this offensive line will be able to play today not having the left guard out there?
Well, it is a loss. Van Lanning at least got some of those reps in overtime last week, so the position isn't totally foreign to him at a game speed situation. The thing about the Texans is they rush 4, and that's what you got to block. I mean, they did not blitz hardly at all last week against Bo Nix, who was a second-year quarterback, and but they still were able to create pressure. So one thing the Jaguars have had trouble with up front in pass protection are games, stunts and twists. Okay, make sure the communication between Van Lannon and Little is on point, and Van Lannon and Hainsey. So that to me, that would be the key. The run block thing, that's why they should. When you're down a guy, you probably want to emphasize the run game because it's almost see guy, block guy.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's look at the Jaguar defense. What do you think the game plan will be today for Anthony Campanile?
Well, he didn't pressure a lot in terms of numbers in the first meeting. Because remember, you did it so much in weeks 1 and 2, so he played more of a coverage game in week 3. I think Devin Lloyd coming back is gigantic. Ventrell Miller, pass game is not his strength. So you can maybe rush 4, drop both your linebackers into the middle of the field, because that's what I expect Houston to do. I don't expect them to take a lot of shots either. They're going to throw dink and dunk with Davis Mills as the quarterback. So. With this defense, can you create a couple of takeaways? You got one last week that led to a field goal. So I think they should be in good shape. If they give up over 20 to this offense, then they've had a bad day.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I'm still concerned about the secondary with Jordan Lewis not being out there. I mean, how do you think that unit will hold up? It isn't, to your point, it's not a difficult challenge necessarily, but boy, that not having Jordan Lewis, that's to me, that's the biggest injury that they have today.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And Jerry Jones will play that nickel, so I would go after him. But if you're the Texans this week, your number one priority is you're going after number 42.
Yeah,
and that's Andrew Wingard, the safety. I would get a tight end against him. I try and scheme it up to get a receiver or a running back against them, and just make the Jaguars make a decision. Say, okay, what are you going to do with this guy? They really have no options, but. And then Antonio Johnson missed 3 tackles last week. So, the Texans probably popped in the tape saying this is the game you win with a backup quarterback. Despite not having the right side of their line, they're both out, Ingram and Howard. So so both teams. I mean, both teams are just really banged up. So it's a little bit of a fittest will survive today. You
think Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker get after Mills pretty efficiently today?
No, because they really haven't all year. Hines Allen will break the sack record today. I'll make that prediction, going on a big limb there. With Walker, I think the key for him is, okay, now this is his second week with this new contraption on his wrist and another week of recovery from the surgery last month. Does he start showing up a little bit more? So if the 4-man rush isn't there, that's a disappointment, because then you got to start blitzing Lloyd or Foye.
Yeah, without a doubt. Ryan, tell us how you think this game will go and give us an expectation of what we should expect to read in Jacksonville.com.
Well, the over-under is 37.5. It's gone down, and it's tied for the lowest in the league this year, so Vegas doesn't expect a lot of fireworks. But I picked 14-11 when I turned it in on Thursday. I sort of have a feeling maybe a little higher scoring because of all the injuries on defense for both teams. I mean, Petrie is a good player for the Texans. He's out with a concussion. So I think the Jaguars do win the game, and both teams will maybe reach and get into the high teens or maybe even low 20s. Probably go like 24 or 17, something like that. And then, well, full coverage online on Jacksonville.com later tonight, and then we'll have it in the print edition on Tuesday.
All right, sounds great. Ryan, have a great time covering the game. Safe travels home, and we can't thank you enough for your time today. We certainly enjoy it. And, again, people can find Ryan's work at Jacksonville.com and follow him on social at Ryan O'Halloran. Ryan, thanks so much.
All right, hey, take care now.
All righty, great stuff there from Ryan O'Halloran. Just a couple minutes left before we turn it over to the Publix Tailgate Show. Let's give our final thoughts here, Dylan. How do you see this game going, and who do you like?
I like the Jags. I like Trevor. I think he's going to make one more play than Mills. I like a low-scoring field goal fest, like a 18-12 kind of game.
Okay.
Scorigami.
Yeah, I like it. And Houston just played a similar game like that against Denver, so I think absolutely you could see that. That's sort of where I'm leaning towards as well. I like the Jaguars low scoring. I'll say Jaguars 16-13. I do think a couple of things. I think to your point about Trevor making one more play, I think Trevor using his legs has really become more of a factor for the Jaguars as the season has progressed. So I'll say Trevor either runs for a score or gets a key third down, and I think Cam Little is a difference maker as well today for the Jaguars. So I like the Jaguars too. Hopefully they'll get it done. That is going to do it for us. Want to thank Frank Frangie, Rick Ballou, and Ryan O'Halloran for joining us. Appreciate Anton Harrison, Foye Aluakan, Jacoby Myers, and Josh Hines-Allen for their time earlier this week in the locker room. That's going to do it for us, but the Publix Tailgate Show is up next with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Austin Lane. For Dylan Denmark, I am Hayes Carline. That's going to do it for us. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.